Good afternoon, here we are again. I know, comes round twice a week. But do you know what? I absolutely love it. And as busy as we are or whatever's going on in the world, it's just really nice to sit and have some time just to tangle and a little chat and just get together with friends. So hello, welcome on this sunny Friday afternoon. And here we go, tile 207. Now, I did give you a little bit of a heads up earlier, just in case. I did say, if you fancy doing an inked tile, then go ahead and do one. But if not, it really doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. That I've got one of these lovely lavender tiles. This is the new ones out the Sorbet collection, which you've all been buying. And I think, actually, we're just finishing off getting everything in the post. So most of the stuff, I think, should be with you today. If you're in America, as long as I can get to the post office before they shut today, then you'll have yours as well. So, okay, done a little bit of inking. I've just used a purple ink on my purple tile. You see that? I've spritzed it with a bit of water and I've just thrown a little bit of salt on it. You know, just regular table salt, and then just left it to dry, because when it's dry, just rub all the salt off. So we don't want to be trying to draw over that. So, okay, what else do I have? I've got my regular my pens, pencil torte yarn. I do have a white pencil and a white gel pen, just in case. But of course, again, you can use whatever you want to do. And yeah, oh, it's lovely to see that deliveries are getting through. That's brilliant. It's yeah, I think after Christmas now we've started to get on with it, haven't we? So it's all good. All right then. Okay, I'm going to start with a border. So I'm just going to bring in another tile, and of course, within the new stencils there is a border frame, so you could use that. But that's okay. We're going to go old school. Oh, and tile swaps coming out. Yeah, I haven't posted the photograph yet. I do apologise. I do have one. I will get that posted. I've had a bit of a busy week. There we go. Bit of a border. And I'm going to stick with my pen and pencil. I'm going to decide. I'm going to go with the darker part, I think, as my sort of point of entry here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by giving myself a bit of a curve from one to the other. I'm going to work my way down to this darker point here. Okay, so here we are. Let's, yeah, I'm gonna go. Let's have a look. Just sort of point, just over the point to point there. A bit of a line. There we go. Bit of a curve. And then let's do another. Actually, I might go a bit more curved. There we go. So it does sort of fall into the. There we are. I apologise if you've just drawn that. You've got to rub it out, same as me. A bit more curved. There you are. And let's have a look. So let's put another one in here. So a little bit of an aura there. Okay. Then I'm going to go for one a bit wider. And then let's have a look. Another one. Sort of about here. Let's have a look where we're at with that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and then I've got obviously this space here that I can do something in a short while. I think what I'm going to do is just going to add sort of a smaller one at the top there. Okay, you're not going to see these lines when you've done, they're just guides, so don't worry about it. Oh, Shirley, that's lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. So we've worked really hard to get everything out this week, so. And of course, you know, we're still on TV on Monday, so you'll still get some demos and things in. All right, ready then. I'm going to start with this sort of section here, so I'm just going to turn it that way because it's easy to draw in. And I'm just going to, oh, shall I? Oh, no, maybe I'll start with this one. I'm being a rebel today, aren't I? And I'm going all over the place, but that's okay. Let's put a ball in and a ball out of bubbles, okay? And another one there and there. So I've got a bit of like a rectangle-ish shape. And then just sort of follow it round and create these little bubble shapes. You see, we've got one at the top there, one at the bottom there. And then here we go, let's bring one here, and then one here. Okay, series of bubbles. So I'm going to work sort of where that middle one is to start with. What I'm going to do is create a curve from one bubble to the next. You see? Okay. And then, all right, let's turn that round. And I'm going to do the same that side. See a bit of a mirror image going on there. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it around. Now see it went over this way. So now I'm going to go under. And then over. And then under. And then over. All right. Oh, thanks, Karen. We do our best. We have actually brought postage sort of in-house a bit more. It's just that if it's got a customs note on it, we have to take it to the post office because, of course, we need to have that receipt to say we know where it's going. All right, there we are. Just this time now, see this one's gone this way, so I'm going to go that way, and then, of course, that way, like so. Now, of course, if you feel that you need to do this in pencil first, please don't think you've got to do it in pen. I always encourage it, but whatever you're comfortable with. There we go. And then if I turn it this way now, we're back into this middle one, and I'm going to come inside, and then inside. All right. So then let's look at the next one. You see where it's sort of risen there, inside that one, and inside that one. And then, of course, same. We're going to see a little bit there. And then moving the other way. Same again, look, inside there. And inside there. There we go. A lovely sort of little design there. So, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just sort of enlarge it a little bit more. If it'll let me. There we go. So, looking at these sections here, what I'm going to do is just going to add a little sort of line in the middle, you see? And then just on this side, I'm just going to put a little sort of bubble there. Same one there, just fill it in a bit. Let's do another one this side, that way. And then I'm just going to sort of work it round and fill that bubble in a bit more. Okay. Same, now this one I'm going to have going off the page because of course my border's there in the way. So turn that around and again, just sort of fill in, makes it a little bit thicker there. And then into the next one. So if you want to do the lines first, see it's going to have one there. And then come in with your little bubbles there. So you just sort of thicken it up a bit and make sure that our spaces at the side are sort of filled in. There we are. And then last one, same again. So we're all getting ready here, and we've got classes this weekend, so we're all getting ready with getting our food preparation in and printing things and getting papers ready. So that's kind of nice, isn't it? Look forward to it. It's a nice time. I do enjoy doing the classes. So I am going to be looking at Zoom one, so bear with me with that. Okay. I'm just going to do a little bit of stitching. There you go, just around those edges there. And sort of, just working my way around. And of course you could do these in a different colour if you preferred. Oh, I know, Shirley, yeah, it's, can't wait. I've not seen you in ages. Was it September? I can't remember now. There we are, little stitches there. And then of course, let's do the same on this side. Okay, so one that way and then same on this side. There's little stitch marks. Okay. Oh, it's all right, Louise. We do our best to get your parcels out. I'm still waiting for some of mine from various companies. It's been a while. Like some I ordered, you know, before Christmas now, and I know we're all having similar problems. But there we go. Oh yeah, Rose, it is. Look, hang on, it's my watch. Yeah. It's one of those plastic ceramic ones, you know, the biodegradable plastics and things. You have to try now and again, don't you, to be slightly for the planet. Okay, let's have a look now at this corner. You see why I decided to do that one, because there's little gaps here. So I'm going to start, and it really doesn't matter where you start, but I'm going to start on where I've got an edge there to my border. Come on up and just add in a little bubble there. Just going to fill it in. There we go. And then I'm just going to wrap it round, so a bit of an aura all the way around, like so. And then I'm going to do the same one all the way around. I'm quite conscious of that ticking now, especially being that it's quite close. I'm just going to take my watch off. There we go. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to do it again. I'm going to leave it at that, I think. I could now, I'm going to do another. All these decisions today. There we go. On that way. All right. So then let's do another one. And I'm just going to bring one out. I'm going to keep these the same way. So there you go. Same again with my little bubble. Fill that in. And if I just sort of go around the edge of that one, and then back down, and around the edge, back down, see? And then I'm going to do another. And there we are. Okay. So let's do one coming from here. So it's going to sort of be piggybacking on the top of that one there. And then, of course, we're going to go around one, then two. Here we are. And then we'll do another. There's three. If you want to do three, if you want to do more, it's fine. You can do however many you want. So, do another one this way. I'm going to go up and along here. There you go. Here we go with that. And then, of course, just sort of along and down underneath where we sort of started. Now I'm going to do a third, but I am going to use the border today. I'm going to stay within it. Okay. Maybe one this way. There we go. Just sort of filling that little spot in. There's one. And there's our second. And then we'll do a third. Okay, see I've got a little gap here. I'm just going to fill it with a bit of ink. Yeah, I'm going to do one just sort of coming up and into this gap here. So, you know, we've got the line there for the guide, but we don't need to stick to it. We're going to work our way around. Okay, see I've got quite a bit of space there. Let's just fill them with a bit of ink. Bring one up here, and let's go along and down. There we go. There's two, and there's three, and of course I've got a little bit of space there. Let's fill it with a bit of ink. And I'm gonna get one in here. I think what I'm going to do though, I'm going to draw in that border, because it's a little bit dark in this corner and I just want to make sure. I'm just going to draw that bit in there. that I'm not sort of going out of it. There we go, I can see it now. And then of course there's one. And there's my second. And my third. Okay, and again a little bit of ink there. Just filling that in. So maybe one's going to go up and underneath there. So you're just going to get, you know, a few of the lines in there. Looks like it's continuing, doesn't it? Then again, maybe just 3 lines there, and just filling in those areas. Okay. I was tempted with the Mickey Mouse, but you know what? When I do the tile swap, it's the same as, you know, to be fair with everybody, Leslie and I do randomly sort of have one selected. We don't actually pick and choose, because that would be unfair, wouldn't it? It's everybody's in it together, and we don't want to sort of go, oh, we want that one, or we want that one. We want to make sure that, you know, everybody's just chosen fairly. So yes, I did have my eye on the Mickey Mouse one. And I think here we're just going to add a couple of lines in, just to sort of give it that effect that it's sort of going in and under. And again, I can just bring in that little border now. There we go. See, fill that one in there to there too. And of course that one, unless you want to extend it on and you want to go onto a page, but there we go. There you are. Let's have a look so far. Okay. So let's have a look at the, say the next one. We're going to just sort of jump again. And we're going to, oh shit, yeah, let's jump again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, let's have a look, a couple of little lines. Leave a gap, a couple of lines. Leave a gap. You get the idea. Of course, they don't all have to be exact. It's not a problem. They're all slightly different. But you know, you want a little bit of a gap in between them. There we go. And just gonna sort of join them. So I've got little squares or rectangles, however way they work out. All right. Just all along that little space there. Okay. Let's go in a little bit. I'm gonna just add in just a line each side, and then just some little bubbles down the middle. So we're not going to get much in. There we are, they're quite small. And then just sort of along there you go, see? And then the same, just sort of nice small bubbles in there. And then little ones. In we go. Oh, see this one, I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger there, just to get that in. Alright. Okay, let's have a look. We've got that kind of thing going on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to ignore this first one here. I'm going to get to grips with this one first. So I'm going to create a curve from one to the next. Now they're all going to be slightly different, as we know, because we've left a different space in between, just sort of how we drew it, so not to worry. There we go. Then see, I can do this one and come back and do sort of this one, you see? And then along we go, and then back in and do the same. So I can do that one now, look, on the other side. Just adding these sort of odd-shaped orbs. Now, of course, it might look a bit different if you've not left a small gap. They might have elongated slightly. Okay, so let's go a little bit larger. Now, I'm going to sort of swap pens here, because this just makes life a little bit easier, I'm going to swap for I've got my 04 or an 03, whichever works. And I'm just going to add in, here we go, some little dots. Quite close together at the top there. Then they just get a little bit further apart. See, not many. And the same at the other side. Alright, so I'm just going to sort of work along the edges there. Alright, just sort of little bits. You see, just adding a few in. And same here. Okay, now see, if I was to come in with my 01, you'd see that you can add a few extra in if you want. See, they're a lot finer, but it takes ages to cover it. And you don't want to be pressing on too hard with that pen because you don't want your nib to be lost. Because if you press on a bit hard, you know that your nib will disappear inside the pen. So just be gentle with them. They are very fine. Oh, just so you know. Okay. Same sort of on this one. Of course, you could add another tangle inside these if you want to. It's just giving you a slightly different variation today of how you can create a little bit of shadow in places. And of course, you don't need to keep up with me, just take your time with it. It's better if you do. Just want that kind of random effect there. There we go, let's see. And of course, if you feel that you need to, you can, as I say, come in and just add in a few with your finer nib. This would work really well with colours as well, if you wanted to do different colours. Quite nice. I just want to make sure I've got the darkness at that bottom edge there. There we go. You see, just working it round. Okay, I'm just going to put the lid back on my 04. I don't need that now. So far then, we've got a couple of different little designs going on. So I'm going to sort of focus now on this bit in the middle here. And the way we're going to do this is why we did, because I've got these little gaps, is I want to create a curve. I'm going to go this way first. A curve. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to do another. You see it sort of starts part way down the line, and then we bring it round and sort of curve it as we go. See there, I've got a little mark with my pen. That's handy. I can just use that to create that shape there. Okay, I'm going completely in, so where I've got these extra spaces left where I've done the different tangles, we've got that going in. And then just looking at each one here, I'm going to create, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3 lines. Now if I do it with this one as well, yeah, they do look a bit dragony, don't they, Vicky? 1, 2, 3 lines, you see? I'm just going to go in a little bit more. See my sort of my middle one here? I'm just going to fill it with bubbles. Just sort of making sure they touch each other wherever you can. Okay, see the middle one there? Same again. Just try and get them to touch the sides. There we go. And then here, just counting again. 1, 2, 3. And then that middle one, just a little row of bubbles. Even there, see it's going through. Sand bubbles. How many words can we put "san" in front of and it sounds right? Oh, it's funny. You are funny. There you are. Let's have a look at beginner violins, goodness. I know the school I used to work in, we were We thought we were at the bottom end of the school, being in technology, but the music department was sort of opposite us, across like a what we called the quad, a sort of square piece of grass. Yeah, some of the sounds that used to come out of there were very interesting, I can tell you. Pass. That's a funny one. We've needed some of that this week, or in all honesty. But you know, it's Friday, we've got through the week. The sun came up every day. We got on with it. And we're still here. There we go. Go, Chris, I love it. I think we need just a few more followers before we can start renaming YouTube. I think it's a little bit more like world domination before we can do that, do you think? Oh. But, yeah. Maybe not world domination. Not yet. Not this week. Okay. Alright, so just sort of working my way down. Don't worry if these lines are a bit wobbly, it's fine. I think maybe the tiles this week I'll look back on and think, gosh, still managed to do the tiles in the week. Yeah, proud that we've carried on with this, I really am. I think it's been wonderful. And okay, just sort of the last one here. And again, just sort of putting in those little bubbles. Okay. Oh, Tina, if you want to have a look for me on YouTube, if you type in Sanntangle, you will find me. If you know which tile it is. I know at the beginning I got a few tiles mixed up, so tile 11 might not be tile 11. Sanntangle, that's funny. But yeah, they're most, if you know the tile number, you can type in Sanntangle tile 193, you know, be there. I think I'm a little bit behind. I didn't put all the advent on. I think I got to 7. And I think definitely, I don't know if I've put tile 200 on yet, but certainly got a few on there. So there we go. See, a lovely sort of little design there, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look at this last row then. So go a little bit larger. Okay. So I'm going to start in the middle. It doesn't matter. I just find that it's easier to work from the centre there. You see, that's where my line ends, but because I've got this space, I'm just going to extend it down. And then again, just so they join and down. So whether you want to go this way, or whether you want to go point down, or whether you want to turn it round, and you want to do it this way, it really doesn't matter. We're going to end up with the same results. I quite like it like that, actually. Whatever works for you. It's nice, isn't it? It's a bit, oh, they're all a little bit different, I know, but it's kind of nice just to have a bit of a variation. Alright, you see that one's going down to the bottom there because that's where my space is. And then I'm just sort of going to run out a little bit now, so the thing here is just to sort of imagine where the point's going to be and just sort of work it into the corner there. And then here we go to the next little bit. So just as before, I'm going to fill this side in. So just sort of working with these lovely little shapes there. Alright. Again, just sort of down to the point there. And again, I'm just going to put in that part of the border there, because that one's just going to slide underneath. So I'm going to imagine where those points are and just leave it to that. Okay. Alright, so let's have a look at there we are. So let's have a look at this space then. I'm going to just start again in the middle. I'm going to put a little bit of a wavy line in. Thank you, Leslie. Cup of tea.
Oh,
We've worked Leslie a little bit hard this week.
that's the understatement.
Ooh, the Alp's tired. Hey, we've been there with her.
She's bought me a cream cake though.
Yes, I have. I have brought them cream cakes, even though I can't eat them. I have brought them cream cakes today. Okay. So I'm creating this sort of little petal kind of shape, or leaf shape, however you want to look at it, on both sides there. And again, just sort of, you can go down one side first and then the next, or you can do them one and then the other. It's entirely up to you. You can do a mixture if you want. It's all right, Angela, it's not a problem. If it wasn't for you and everybody sending orders in, we wouldn't be able to do this, would we? So, you know, we don't mind. We love what we do. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to add a little line in, just sort of working my way up. And then, of course, back down. I know, they've gone downstairs now for a cup of tea and a cake. Left me to it. There you go. All right. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to bring it out. I don't have to follow the same pattern at all. Just going to meander it along and then over the border. Again, you can put the line in at the same time if you want to. Really doesn't matter. Okay, you see, just sort of see where it works for you. Another one in there. And one in there. Okay. I'm gonna put one in there as well. What's the bottom there? And then another one. You see, this is getting a little bit smaller as we sort of work our way to the edges here. It's just depends what space you've got. And of course, you might have left a larger space than I did. But, so everybody's is going to be a little bit different. Okay, let's have a little look. There we go. See, we've got these lovely little vines coming out. Okay, so another one there. Just nice and gentle. There's no rush at all. You can take your time with these. So I'm going to have one sneaking out there. And of course along that one. And we know here that you can see that my border's got to go in. Right. Let's have another one. I'm going to go that way. I don't want them all facing the same way or bending the same way to start. I want them a little bit different in places. And of course, just sort of up and along there. There we go. See how they just sort of work along the way? Just little curves there. Oh, Louise, yeah, it works, doesn't it? And I know sometimes we perhaps get a little bit stuck with which tangles to use. We don't always know. I think one of the things to remember is that yes, you need some that are quite detailed and some you need a little bit of space. So like here, we've left these blank and the others have got varying amounts of details. The really detailed one here, but they're it's just about having that balance, isn't it? And of course, bringing these slightly more organic ones into the mix as well. Just sort of gives it a little bit of a freedom. It's not so rigid. But you know, if you don't want to do this and you want to keep this kind of thing going along, then you can do that as well. But yeah, it does look like they're moving. It's because we've got them sort of going, you know, moving around slightly differently. Bit of a wave to them. But yeah, they definitely needed that little gap in between, didn't they? And okay, let's maybe just sort of touching the edges there. There we go. And I think it's kind of nice as well. Let's bring some of those zingers into the mix. It's going to go a bit larger. All right. If you don't know what a zinger is, where have you been? All right. I'm just going to do an aura around the line, or the bubble, and then another. And I'm just going to sort of keep it going until there's nothing left, and then just going to add a little bit of a bobble at the side there, maybe one there too. See, adding in there. Let's put another one in. Let's bring it out sort of here. Got a little bit of a gap, and then in we go with it. Now this time I'm just going to put one on that side. Okay. What about one here? Now they can be as big or small as you like. You don't have to be seriously sort of there, but entirely up to you. There we go. Okay, and maybe just sort of one hiding in the shape there. Okay, let's have a look at this. Goodness me, doing all right today. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in the rest of the border. That's what I can see. Now, of course, if you want to bring in a straight edge again, you can do that. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and freehand. And then here again, just sort of going underneath any of those little shapes we've got going on there. There we go. All right. Actually, yeah, like that. Okay, pencil then. So I'm going to use my smaller pencil today. It's just handy, so I've got my 2 packs with me, so I've got those ones, and I've got the blue ones. The ones I've got pencils in with them, so I'm going to use those. I think to start with, let's have a look in here then. I'm just going to bring that in. You see, just sort of working it along and round. And then just going to go down here. Now it's quite dark, but that's okay. I'm still going to go in with the pencil and add some of that in. And then looking at this one, let's go a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. You see here, I've got this pencil line. I'm just going to get rid of that. I don't want it to impact on the shading that I'm about to do, so I'm just going to remove that. There we go. See, just adding a little bit either side. And to this one. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to add a little bit either side there. There we go. And work it this way. See a bit either side. And again, if you've got the mandala stamp, you remember that one? Then this will work in the same way. You could actually do 4 of these. Oh, look at you mentioning it. And you could put them together if you wanted to. It's work quite well, wouldn't it? Because we've started in a corner. You see, I'm just adding pencil now, just down these lines. Okay, just one after the other. Nice and gentle. And of course, if you're not sure how much pencil to put on, Barbara, yeah, they are specific papers. They are the best that we can possibly find for you. They're really nice. They're like a hybrid between a cartridge paper and a really high quality card. It gives you the strength, but also allows the pencil to sit in there and be blended easily and nicely. And it comes in a good colour range as well. So I think they have quite a few colours. We're just in the process actually of we've got the sorbets out just now, and they're coming out on the shopping channel on Creating Craft. I don't know if I should call it that anymore. On Monday. And then we're just looking at swapping over all our brights and things. Lovely paper. And then see here, because we've got these points, I'm just gonna... Oh, Barbara, I'm sure it's not rubbish. It's not you. It's sometimes it is down to the paper that you're using. And if it's not gonna, you know, move so well. And then of course, if you just, maybe you try a lighter dusting of pencil and then soften it with the tortillon and then go in for a second layer. That might help, depending on the paper you're using, of course. And then, of course, it's just gonna add a little bit. You see, just sort of on that board a bit there. Just to sort of give it a little bit of something. It's okay, back in with the tortillon. I've actually broken out a new tortillon. Look, it's got fluff on it. But hey, new tortillon. So let's start down here. I'm just gonna come in with swirls and just soften that pencil, just sort of around the edge, but I'm not trying to cover the whole thing, just softening it. There you go. I'm working on these. So you can see I'm just gonna again soften that edge. You see there, hardly any effort at all really. You know, it just does it. And that's down to the paper and the pencil, of course. Nice and soft. And of course, same sort of this side, top and bottom. See, I've sort of transferred to little sort of zigzag motions now and just easing it off. And you could turn your tile and carry on with the circles, but whatever works. There we go. Okay, and then just a little bit either side of these. Okay, so we're trying to keep that highlight in the middle if we can. And then of course on this section now it might be actually quite nice just to soften it that way, you see? You see where you've got that sort of persistent line? If we just go in with little circles, see, we can use that. I'm just moving it a little bit, I'm not completely covering as before. Sort of working my way up and down. Same on this one. There we go, just working that in, and then I'm going to come down and do the other side. So here we go, sort of softening it in. And as we go, just each little bit at a time. And then of course we come to these lovely little sort of bead shapes, and again I'm just going to add that pencil either side and try if I can just to leave that little highlight in the middle, sort of nice and gentle. Chris, no, now if the shinier it is, the slightly more tricky it is to blend it. I wouldn't worry about it. I know that they're trying to sort things out. I don't think they know themselves yet what's actually going to happen, but I think certain things are going to be honoured. So not to worry. It'll sort itself out. And of course we've just got a little bit along here, so I'm just going to sort of pull it out just a touch. You see, just sort of very little pressure. There we go. Okay. And then just sort of along those sections there. I think I need to come in and do a little bit on those little zingers as well, but we'll work on that in a minute. There we go. Okay, so that's our pencil done. So we're just going to come in with my regular pen again. There we are. And I think what I'll do is just going to put, oh, got a bit on it there. Just going to come back in and draw in these lines. Little bits. See, just sort of enhancing that shape again. And taking my time, sort of working it round. See? And then I'm just going to bring this one in. Again, I just want a little bit of depth there. See, I've not done this side, I've just done the inside there. And then just sort of coming back to the sort of overlapping. If I just do that front edge there. And then just sort of working it down as we go. And this is where you have those extra little details in. It just sort of enhances what you've already done and then just brings things back to light a little bit. See, so just that front edge. Okay. And sort of up there, filling that, and then that one. So let's bring in our white pencil. Just going to give it a little bit of a touch of highlights here. So let's start with these sort of shapes. I'm just going to add a little bit of it just in the centre there. Okay. And then sort of centres here. And then little bits that side as well, of course, and a little bit side as well. There we go. And then just going to sort of add a little bit just to that front edge. You know where we've just added the pen, because if where we've got dark, we need light. So it's quite nice to just sort of add that little bit. Okay. And yeah, just going to add a little bit in the middle of each of those little bead shapes there. Sort of down here. Okay. And see, just sort of on the tips of those. Sort of adding that in. See, I'm not putting that much on, just a little bit, just to wrong it out. So I'm just going to come back in with my torch on. I know it's got graphite on the end, but I'm just going to work around the edge of that just to sort of soften it in a little bit. And then of course I'm just going to, I'm not going to overdo it, I just want to touch it very gently, just to give it a very tiny blend. I'm not going to touch this at all. I'm just going to rub that round a little bit. There we go. And I think, let's have a look. I think I'm going to come back in with pencil and just add some to the edges here. See, just sort of around there. There we go. And then again, just sort of working it around those sort of spaces there. Okay. There we go. So it's got a little bit darker that side now as well. And I think just because we can, we're just going to come in, just sort of bring that side to a little bit of life. We just want it to look like it's slightly in front of those little curved shapes. So we're almost done now. There we go. I'm just going to bring in my white gel pen. Just for a little bit. Here we go. Just want to make sure it's going to work. Yep. And you remember these little dots we started with? Just want to sort of bring them in. And just sort of reintroduce the fact that they were there. And of course, because I'm on a different colour tile, they're going to stand out a little bit more. And sort of work my way to the end there. And I think I'm just going to sign it actually in white pen as well while it's there. Into that dark space there. Let's have a look at what we've done. There we go. So adding that extra little bit in makes all the difference, doesn't it? Just with the extra black. I'm just going to put a little bit of a highlight on those little zingers there. Another one sneaking around somewhere. There he is. Not overdoing it. So I've not really touched this at all today. It's just the shadow in the background. But then it's this little bit here. And of course, look at that little white touch of gel pen there has made a difference. If you want to, there's nothing stopping you actually doing that on all the bubbles there as well. But my main focus really is we've sort of got the beads at the front, and then of course we've got this lovely tangle here. So there we go, tile 207, all done and sorted. So whether you want to do it on a coloured tile, or whether you want to do it maybe as a set of 40, it looks nice either way, doesn't it? It's entirely up to you, but yeah, just enjoy it, have a little bit of fun with it. Part it's similar, my pencil's a little bit harder than that, but it's very similar. You can give it a go, you can give a white pencil a go, but yeah, it took a while to find them. So I know they're a little bit hard to get hold of, but yeah, give it a go if you want to try it. But okay, there we go then, all done and sorted. I hope you have a lovely weekend. If you're heading over here this weekend, then brilliant. I will see you tomorrow. But if not, take care everybody, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Because yeah, we've not got a tile swap yet because they've just gone out. So yeah, it'll be next Wednesday. So have a good one, and I will see you soon. Okay, take care.